What role did you come here to play? And are you ready to rise up and claim it? Let's dive into your profile in leadership. Hello, my name is Jenna, and welcome to this video all about your profile lines in leadership. Your profile lines in human design is the role that you came here to play so that you can achieve your purpose as a leader in this world. So imagine yourself as an actress who was hired for a role in a TV show. And so this character that you are embodying in this show is what your profile is like. It's like this character or multiple characters, because we're going to talk about there's two different sides to your profile, but you are embodying to actually live out your purpose during your lifetime. So for those of you who are newer to human design, I just wanted to bring up my body graph and my handy dandy arrow here to show you where exactly you get your profile from. So all of these here are planetary bodies, and you always have your personality side, which is where the planetary bodies were at the moment that you were born. And over here you have your design side, which is where the planetary bodies were approximately 88 days before you were born. So to get your profile numbers, you would be going to look at your sun symbol. And so you see here that we have some numbers underneath the sun. This is the gate and the line that your sun was in at the moment that you were born here, and then 88 days before you were born. So if you want to learn more about astrology within human design, you can check out that video. But for right now, we're just looking at these numbers after the decimal point. So when you're talking about your profile, you are looking at first the number on the right-hand side, the personality, and then the number on the left, your design. So my profile is a 2-5. So I have personality traits, and I'm embodying this character of both the 2 profile and also the 5 profile. So now that you have that, let's talk a little bit more about what the profile is. So your first number, which is your personality profile line, for me, it's my number 2. This is the side that represents your mind. This is where you are conscious of. This is something that you might relate more to. This is the character in the play or the TV show that you actually identify with, and it's a part of yourself that you know and embody on a daily basis because it's something that you already are aware of. Whereas on the other side, your design side, which is my 5, this is something that you're not necessarily aware of because it represents your body. All of the design side is the body, and so this is subconscious or unconscious to us. All of these, whether it's your personality or design, is coded in our DNA and in our cells, but on the design side, it's something that other people see in us, but we don't necessarily see in ourselves, or we don't really necessarily relate to within ourselves. So it's really coming to a place in leadership where you are looking at both sides and honoring both sides of yourself and becoming aware of those subconscious traits so that you can really live up and rise into the leader that you were meant to be. So let's take a look at each of the profile lines individually so that we can get a little bit of a generic understanding of each one of them and how you can apply them as a leader, along with a quick practice to start implementing this today. Okay, so line 1. You are the researcher, the investigator, the foundation, the ground. You are here to really look into and dive deep into building and expanding your knowledge base. People see this in you. People see that you are a wealth and fountain of knowledge, and you are here to really build that sanctuary of knowledge so that people can look to you and tap into what you know. Because you are here as a leader to share what you know. And so don't be afraid to share and shout it from the rooftops and expand other people's knowledge in what you already know. And even though you don't like to be unprepared or put on the spot with the knowledge that you carry, especially if you're not fully and deeply embodied in the knowledge, don't be afraid to share, because that is what you are here to do. You are here to shout it from the rooftops, and you are here to support others in learning from you. You are like a teacher. You are here to gain and gather and really just build a knowledge base. You like to read books. You like to listen to podcasts. You like to watch YouTube videos and dive deep into what you love. And so this is a key little tip here, is really think about what lights you up when you are investigating, and only dive into and enter into investigations using your strategy and authority for what is meant for you, because you're not meant to know everything. You're meant to know what is on your path and what you are interested in diving in deeper into. And so using your strategy and authority to really get into that. Another important leader tip with the line 1 is to really be integrity with the knowledge that you hold. Do not lord your knowledge over others. Do not hold it over others. You are not the keeper of the knowledge. You are the sharer and the expander of knowledge. And so, sharing it in a way that is supportive to the people that are around you, either in your business, in your community, in your career, the people that you manage. It's all about expanding them as well with your knowledge and what you hold, so that you can really step into who you are meant to become. One quick tip to embody this and practice this within yourself is to set time aside to expand your knowledge and make it a ritual, make it a non-negotiable for yourself, because it is something that lights you up. It is something that brings you joy, and that is very important and vital for you, because remember, your sun is like your light. And so since the profile lines are related to your sun, you want to make sure that you are feeding that light. And so having this sacred, special time to really make a ritual of your knowledge expansion is going to be very vital and nourishing for you. Okay, line 2. Line 2, you are, this is so me, you are a hermit. You like to really be alone and have your sacred alone space. This is where you shine. This is where you are most comfortable. This is where your energy thrives. And so you also have, when you are in this alone space, you have this like natural innate ability. You have natural gifts. Things come to you very easily. If somebody asks a line 2 to do something, they can go teach themselves and become really, really good at it very easily. And this is something that you do not recognize within yourself. Other people see it. And the more that you hide yourself away in your very little quiet sanctuary, the more people are drawn to you and the mystery of you. Leadership in line 2, it's very interesting because you are that hermit. You want to stay in your sacred space, but people are drawn to how you do things, and they want to know how you are doing these things that come so natural to you. And so in a line 2, this could look like having a structure or strategy, or breaking things down in very tangible, easy steps to help people understand how you are achieving or accomplishing things with such ease. So doing that breakdown work and explaining it to others. So maybe not necessarily in a very public space, but for example, I'm a line 2 and you see me doing this with YouTube videos. So I'm still in my own energy and in my own space, but I'm breaking things down and sharing with you things that I know about and that come easily to me. So that's an example of how you can like really rise into your leadership role as a line 2. And a quick practice for this, when in integration and embodiment, this line 2, it's super important for you to keep your energy clear. Because when you do go out to social situations and parties, or even the supermarket, I can't stand being in a supermarket. Especially a busy one, I can only go when there's like nobody there. Like we're talking about 6:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock at night. That's when I can go to a supermarket. And so it's too intense of energy for me. And so when you do come back from a situation where you are in a very busy place with a lot of people, it's coming back and clearing your energy and giving yourself that alone time that you so desperately need, because that's when you're going to recharge and you're going to come back into your full, vibrant self. So I encourage you to practice energy clearing and giving yourself that space and that time to recharge your energy as a line 2. My line 3s, you guys are the experimenters, the trial and error people. You are the people who, when you tell them that the stove is hot, you're going to touch it anyway because you need to feel it yourself. And this is my son. So you are here to really just experiment and find what works and what doesn't. And as a leader, sometimes this can be difficult because you are going to fail, like we all do, but you are going to really make mistakes. And your goal as a leader is to rise up and find the wisdom in those mistakes and really cultivate the opportunity within these learning experiences that you have and sharing what you've learned with others. Because when you are trialing and erroring, you know exactly what works and what doesn't, and you are here to share that loud and proud with everybody in your sphere. So a practical tip for you, line 3s, is to keep a journal of what is happening in your day that you've experimented with, and 1, what worked, and 2, the experiences and the lessons that you've learned from any failures or mistakes, because they are not failures or mistakes. They are the wisdom that you are pulling from them, and there is no shame around any of those failures or mistakes. And so gleaning the wisdom and the lessons that you are gathering from those mistakes and really diving into how you can share that message with others and teach them the most efficient way to do something or approach something. And so keeping a journal of these things is really going to help you kind of gather your knowledge base to be able to impart your wisdom to others. Okay, 4th lines, you are called the opportunist. You are all about relationships and really attracting the right network to you. Your gifts are very similar to the first line, where you are that foundation. You are expanding your knowledge, but your knowledge is like creating a ripple effect for your community, and you're doing it for your community. And so what's really interesting about 4 lines is that your network and your community will be built by things that you are not really aware of. It's more of like this, again, this ripple effect where somebody's telling somebody about you, and then your community is just expanding and attracting to you without you really having to do anything. It's just word of mouth. And so that is like a natural gift of yours, is just attracting this amazing and expansive people and network to you just by you being you and having the big heart that you have. You like to be practical. You like to know exactly what is happening, and you don't necessarily like change. And so you like to have that structure set up that like you're not going to leave one job until you have your next job lined up for you, or you're not going to jump outside of your comfort zone very easily or quickly because you don't like that feeling of change. You like the comfort of, your close circle and, the people around you. So with you as a leader, it's really important that you tap into knowing and understanding the impact that you have, the influence that you have. Like, you have the potential to become a huge influencer because of this ripple effect that you create without you even realizing it, and the attraction and the magnetism that you naturally hold as this magnetic person. And so just really being aware of the impact that your words have, the impact that your knowledge has. So a practice of integration for you would be looking at how you can take leaps a little bit more naturally. And so looking at point A that's within your comfort zone and point B that is wildly outside your comfort zone, but you know you want to get there, you don't feel comfortable getting there and taking the leap, is coming up with those practical steps, those baby steps that help you get to the point where your comfort zone is, the edge of your comfort zone is just being pushed a little bit further with each step that you take, so that you can feel comfortable going bigger, going stronger, and being and rising into the big leader and influencer that you are meant to be. Line 5, without you even necessarily realizing it, you are the heretic or the hero, where people are constantly projecting their problems onto you, and you, being you, are so open and willing to just take on other people's problems and try to solve them. And the place where you might get stuck or, tripped up is when you are taking these problems and, sometimes people are projecting their problems onto you. You solve them, they're grateful. But then it's not going the way that people are expecting it to, and then you are the one that falls on the sword. Your reputation is crushed. You are not living up to their expectations of you, and therefore you are the one that's getting burned for it, even though they're the ones who projected their problems onto you in the first place. So as a leader, it's really important to look into the projections that are coming onto you and using your strategy and authority to decide which ones to enter into. Is it aligned for you to solve this person's problems, to be the hero in their lives? Or is it really not your problem at all? And it's up to them to figure out how to solve it. You do not have to solve every problem that comes your way. You get to choose which ones are aligned for you. But you are here to make an impact, and you are here to help others. It's just up to you to decide which ones you actually do want to solve, which ones are aligned for you. And using the word no is okay. You don't have to help everybody. So this is you stepping into your leadership, is actually commanding what is important and what is aligned for you, and you getting to decide. Because when you enter into solving somebody else's problems or what they are projecting onto you, and you're doing it authentically and it is aligned for you, you have great impact and influence. You are leading change. You are somebody who's just meant to influence others with your ideas and your gifts. And so that is how you can rise up into your leadership. So a quick practice for integration for you is to really own your power and do meditations that are empowering to you and help you understand that you are powerful because you are, and you are important because you are, and other people's perceptions of you do not define you. And so this can be very difficult for line 5s because you are a people pleaser and you always want to do the right thing. And then when people aren't happy with how things turned out, you take it personally, and it's not personal to you. And it's part of your destiny to really just think about how you can really own your power and not be affected by other people's false perceptions of you. You get to know that you are innately worthy and powerful and just magnetic just by being you. And when you use your strategy and authority correctly and choose alignment with the problems that you are solving or the situations that you are in, you will notice that there's going to be a huge shift in your energy and how you are relating to yourself. And that's when your impact and influence will come through. Okay, line 6. You are here to be a role model. You are very unique in the fact that you live 3 different stages throughout your life. You start off in year 0 through 30 living life exactly like a line 3. And so if you kind of were zoning out during line 3, I really encourage you to go back to line 3 and listen to it completely so you know how your energy is playing out and the character that you're playing during those first 30 formative years of your life. It's around your Saturn return that it shifts. And so you are here to experiment and trial and error and learn from your experiences and successes and failures and all of that good stuff. And then when you're around 30, in human design, they use this analogy that you go up on the roof and you are reflecting. You go into this period where you are reflecting on all of the wisdom that you've gained during those first 30 years of your life when you were experimenting. So you're saying to yourself, wow, I did stick my hand on the stove and it was hot and it burned me. What did I learn from that? And you're kind of integrating. It's like an integration phase where you are really embodying all the lessons that you learned and really diving deep into, why you were here to learn them. It's kind of like you're getting into this contemplation phase when you're integrating all of these lessons. And so that happens from years 30 to around 50. And then around when you're 50 years old, you decide you want to start coming down from the roof. And this is where your massive impact and influence happens because you've integrated these lessons. And now it's time for people to see how you have really just become and blossomed into this role model just because you experienced it, you took the time to integrate it, and now you are just living it. You are the embodiment of it, of your wisdom. And in your leadership, you're really thinking about how you want to impact the world. And this will be natural because people are going to be watching you because you are, like when you come down from the roof, you are just magnetic, you are embodied, and like your energy and your aura just impact. It's just, people are just bam when you're around them. And so you as a leader are trying to figure out at this point in your life how you want to create impact and what legacy you want to leave. And this is you kind of getting within the world and figuring out what is that legacy. So, this is something that I encourage you to do as a leader when you're rising up into this, is thinking as you're experimenting and as you're reflecting and integrating. And when you come down from that roof, what exactly it is that you want your legacy to be. And it may change. Like, let's say you're still in phase 1 right now, in the line 3 phase. You can reflect on this and think about the legacy, but while you're up on the roof, it may change, and that's okay. Because as you integrate and as you gain wisdom, you're going to learn new lessons along the way, and life is going to be reflecting things to you that may change your path of purpose or what you feel. But your destiny really is to be that influence and that role model that others can look to and others can learn from. And so a great practice to start integrating these themes into your life is to really dive into the energetics and the feelings that you want to create. Doesn't matter what phase you are in, whether you're in the first, second, or third phase of this line 6, you living your highest destiny, you living your absolute legacy. What feelings does that create within you? What does that look like? Visualize it, feel it in your body. And start trying to cultivate that now so that as you are trial and erroring, if you're in phase 1, or as you are sitting on the roof and reflecting and integrating, you can feel into that and know what kind of impact you want to create. You are magnetic, and the more that you are getting into the energetics and into your field and visualizing and feeling into the legacy and destiny that you want to create, the more that you are going to have a little bit easier of a time when you start coming down from the roof, because people are going to feel that within you. I want to thank you for coming along on this journey with me through all of the profile lines and what they look like in leadership. You just took the first step in rising into your destiny and your legacy and how you impact others. And so if you are interested in gaining any more knowledge on your astrology or human design and how you can integrate and embody those practices and qualities within your life, I encourage you and invite you to download my Aligned Leaders Foundation guide, which you will find linked below in my description. And I welcome you to drop in the comments below what your biggest takeaway for leadership was within your profile line and how you are going to be creating your biggest legacy and impact with being and rising into the leader that you know that you were meant to be in this lifetime. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Stay magical, my friends.